Hi guys, welcome back to Blazer Talk. I'm Jessica.
I'm Maya.
And today, first of all, we gotta put a little highlight on Maya's shirt. It is Black History Month, and today's quote is, "Folks wanna pop off," by our favorite president, Barack Obama.
The only one
The only
we acknowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first topic today is Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones is a big producer in the music industry. Quincy Jones is about 85 plus, and he said he has a lot to get off his chest.
Is he 85?
He old.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, from what I read of the article, I think what stuck out to me the most was the Michael Jackson comment.
yes.
Y'all, Michael Jackson was mean and stealing.
He said he stole songs from Donna Summer.
Dang. And he was mean about paying people.
And that he didn't have vitiligo. He said he just had plastic surgery.
Just wanted to get plastic surgery. I don't believe that, okay? My heart isn't convinced. The Richard Pryor allegations also alarmed me. He said that he had relations with
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Richard Pryor and Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, that was a little surprising. Why do you think Quincy is like spilling tea now?
I don't know. Maybe Quincy got a
tea.
book coming out and he just wants y'all to know what kind of secrets he got coming.
Maybe so.
If so, he finna make some money because I want to know.
Yeah, I would advise y'all to check that out because we can't talk about everything he said in the article.
Next topic. Nefertiti and this white woman that they
Claim to be her?
on the Today Show.
Mm-hmm.
It is well known that most humans, well, no, I think they say all humans originated from Africa. Okay? Africa. So I'm just trying to see how this white melanin lacking woman,
Janet from accounting. Janet from accounting.
was
Who is that?
Nefertiti.
As soon as they took the
veil off, I was just like,
who is that?
they said it's Joy Bear with a tan. Yep.
Of all months to be tried, I just feel like do they time this?
Black History.
It's Black History Month. Let's try them just for the sake of trying them.
But those Today Show comments on Twitter did not lack comedy because people were coming for them because they weren't taking this as an acceptable.
People were coming from Black Twitter is never gonna fit that.
Never fails.
Yeah.
Never fails.
You know what was funny to me though? They didn't show Hoda's face.
Because she's Egyptian.
She's Egyptian.
Her skin don't look like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, you know,
Right.
the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. And after the Super Bowl, there was a lot of mass destruction in the streets. That had it been a Black Lives Matter protest, we would have had guns, tear gas, the little shields shielding the police from the fake violence that they assume will be there.
Was gonna be out there, a baton.
Meanwhile, they're kicking in Macy's doors, flipping over cars, and nothing happened to them. So I'm really surprised.
Yeah. And then they called it a celebration.
A celebration.
You know who said that, Fox? We're praying for y'all too. Yeah, I don't know. What did you think about her though? I didn't understand why they were rioting because they had won.
I mean, you know, they had one. Was this their first Super Bowl?
You win and so you flip a car over to celebrate? Sounds like a bunch of heathens to me.
It does. That's those are what's the word I'm looking for?
A bunch of thugs.
A bunch of thugs. Yes, that's what I was
Like
looking
a
for.
bunch of thugs, gangsters. There's probably a lot of gang
Unacceptable.
activity going on out there.
They should have been jailed.
So the last thing we're going to talk about is Jacob Copeland and his rude mama. So they were signing, or he was picking a school to go to attend. It was signing day, and he chose Florida.
Between Alabama and Tennessee.
Right. Honestly, I'm not a Florida fan either, but I'm not a Tennessee fan either, and I could be biased because we're in Alabama, but I'm just glad he's going to school, but his mama didn't have to act a fool.
That was my biggest thing. I'm like, your child probably has a full ride to a college to play a sport that he loves. And instead of you doing your job as his mother and being supportive and being glad that, you know, he stayed true to the sport so long that he was able to get this opportunity, you embarrassed him and yourself on national television by getting up and walking out. And then she came back in later But at that point, you already messed up.
And I'm sure she knew prior to this that he was like favoring Florida. So why would she have been surprised?
And she had on I think she had on an Alabama hat and like a Tennessee scarf. So
an Alabama shirt and a Tennessee hat.
Okay.
So she was prepared, I guess, but she just didn't know he was gonna pick Florida. That was all out of the question.
But my thing is, you know, if he goes first round, she ain't gonna be walking across nothing then, because she gonna be rejoicing because he finna make the millions.
Well.
And then she gonna be like, "Oh, baby, you know I love you."
Yeah, but you know we saw this before, right? When the guy didn't he choose LSU or something? Remember his mom was totally upset at the school that he chose. I can't remember what school he chose, but we've seen videos like this before. Yeah. We've seen, I don't know, parents, just be happy your kid doing something.
Right, because I would have loved a free ride.
Oh, no, that's right. They could be out in the streets, you know, rioting.
During Black History Month, we're going to try to do a few Black History facts in the episodes. So this week we have George W. Lee, who was the first black in memory to register to vote in Humphreys County, Mississippi. Blacks were a majority of the population, but most of them, almost 99% of them, could not vote. So Lee played a role in trying to get them able to vote. But he spoke at a meeting, drew a crowd of about 7,000 in Mound Bayou, Mississippi, and he told them, "Pray not for your mom and pop. They've gone to heaven. Pray you can make it through this hell," which he was talking about as Mississippi and the Jim Crow laws and the racial segregation that was going on during that time. Less than a month after the speech he gave, he was shot and killed while driving in his car in Belzoni, Mississippi. He was shot by a shotgun 3 times. It shattered his jaw, causing his car to leave the road, and he died before arriving at the local hospital. The lead pellets that were extracted from his face were consistent with buckshot, and a few days before, Lee had received threatening notes, and the sheriff didn't take it, seriously. Of course not. He was a black man. And the sheriff said that the buckshot was dental filling torn loose by the impact of the crash. So what he was saying was he was not shot, that the car crash is what caused the bullets that he's calling his dental filling to be lodged into his face. They investigated it somewhat, but it's not really expected to be investigated heavily during this time in Mississippi. And Medgar Evers, he tried to keep the talk about the case constant, but it was not, and the case remained unsolved to this day.
Wow.
His wife had an open funeral so that everyone could see the damage that the shots had done. And a few months later, Emmett Till's mother also had an open casket funeral as well. So, during this Black History Month, we will try to highlight these activists who are oftentimes overlooked or their story is not told. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Blazer Talk. We will see you next week.